In one of my last videos, I shared just how much each one of my horses were to purchase, and a lot of you were shocked at just how cheap they all were. So in today's video, I thought I would share how you can purchase horses for cheap. The first way I want to talk about to get horses for cheap is through horse rescues. I'm all about horse rescues. I will always tell anyone who asks me where they can find a horse to look at a rescue. Even if your budget is big and you can purchase a horse for 5 figures, if you're a new horse owner, I will always recommend going to a horse rescue. The reason for this is because rescues are very honest. You know exactly what you're getting when you rehome a horse from a horse rescue. So with rescues, what they do is they'll pull horses from bad situations, or they'll be left horses. So if someone can't take care of a horse anymore, they may leave it to a rescue. Rescues will take horses and they'll rehabilitate them if they need to be rehabilitated and gain weight and gain muscle and have medical things taken care of. Sometimes they'll provide training for the horse, or they'll see what level the horse is at. And that enables the rescues to know exactly what the horse knows. So when they present it to someone who will potentially rescue them, they can give that information. Rescues want what's best for the horse, so they're gonna make sure the horse doesn't go to a bad home, and they're gonna make sure the horse has a human that is equally matched. Rescues are not afraid to say, this type of horse needs this. These are the bad habits this horse has. These are the medical requirements this horse has and the medical maintenance and care that this horse needs. So if you want to take on this horse and you like this horse, here is all the information you need to properly take care of them and make sure they have a good home. That being said, when it comes to purchasing your first horse, rescues are a great place to go because you know exactly what you're getting. They're going to be honest with you if it's not the right fit. There are some things to be aware of when you are adopting a horse from a rescue. The number one thing is an application. You're going to need to fill out an application and prove to the rescue that you are capable of taking care of this horse financially, and also as a horse person that you have the knowledge you need to take care of the horse. So usually in an application for a horse rescue, they will go through where you're going to keep the horse, and you'll have to give them pictures, or they may even come out to your farm and look at where the horse will be kept. You need to give them your history and how long you've been working with horses, what you know about horses. And another thing they're going to look at is if you're going to be able to take care of this horse long term. Usually with rescues, it's not you're getting this horse and then you can sell them if you want to sell them, or you can resell them and they're a project. With rescues, that's not how that works. They want to know that the horse will be taken care of for their life. So a lot of times rescues will include a clause for whatever reason. If you ever have to sell that horse, you will let them know so that they can take the horse back. Those are just some things to be aware of with rescues. Like I said, that is my number one place I will point people when they're wanting to purchase a horse, just because I like the honesty and I like that they have the horse's best interest in mind. The next way I know of personally to get horses for cheap is through kill pens. If you don't know about kill pens, they're not really pretty, but what they are basically is they are the holding place for horses that are about to be sent to slaughter. So they slaughter horses in Canada and Mexico. So in the United States, the horses will go to the kill pens before they're sent off. There's a bunch of horses crammed in a pen. They get very little food. They're not really taken care of. If they're injured, they don't get medical attention. Kill buyers tend to win out either way. The kill buyer is the person who owns the kill lot. They are selling the horse for meat, and they sell to get a profit. So they'll purchase the horse for cheap and then sell it for meat and make that money. Kill buyers have also figured out how to make a profit on the end of playing to people's emotions and marketing that you can rescue this horse if you just pay to get it out of the pen. So they have these people who want to do good and are paying to get the horses out of the pen, but they're still making a profit off of that. For that reason, there's a lot of people in the horse world who are very against purchasing from a kill pen, solely for the fact that the kill buyer always wins. Whether they sell the horse for meat or they sell the horse out of the pen, they are winning. That is the controversy behind that. I'm still going to support getting horses out of the kill pen. At the end of the day, it's their life, and I'm not worried about whether I'm losing in that situation and the kill buyer's winning. I want to pull the horses out of there so they don't have to go to slaughter. All that said, the way you can find horses in a kill pen and see how much they're going for and how you can pull them out is usually just by going to these kill pens Facebook pages or websites, because they will market these horses. They want to sell them and make money off of them. So you can go check those out. Usually they'll post and they'll be like, here's this horse, here's the very little information we have on it. This horse ships out on this date, so you need to get this horse by this date. So they also create kind of that worry and anticipation of, oh, you need to rush and figure this out because this horse is gonna be shipped to slaughter. All that said, I know people who have had really good luck with pulling horses from the kill pen, and they get amazing horses. One horse I had, Dolly, that I mentioned in my previous video, she came from a kill pen. She was amazing. She had amazing bloodlines and an amazing pedigree, and it was just a shock that she was in there in the first place. So you do have those diamond in the rough situations. Some cons about getting horses from a kill pen: number one, you don't know anything about the horse. You don't know their history. You don't know what they've been through. There's no list of medical records usually. And one thing you do have to keep in mind, a lot of times horses are in the kill pen for a reason. What that reason is, it differs. It could be just because someone couldn't afford to pay for the horse anymore, so it got sent to the kill pen. It could be because the horse was lame and no one really wanted to put in the effort to treat a really simple problem and get the horse better. It could be because the horse has a very chronic problem that's not really fixable. It could also be because the horse is dangerous. Those are all things to keep in mind. Those are all things that I know people who have personally experienced with pulling horses from a kill pen. All that said, if you're looking for a cheap horse, kill pens are a great option. You can save a horse and pull him from there. But like I mentioned, just keep in mind that you won't know the horse and you don't know exactly what you're getting. The good news is there are a lot of rescues that work within the kill pens to pull the horses. So once again, if you want to take the safe route and have the information laid out in front of you and have someone who's going to be honest with you, but you do want to get the horse from the kill pen, I would say talk to a rescue who works to pull horses from a kill pen, because they're going to be honest with you and they're going to help you find a good horse. Another way you can get horses for cheap is through a horse auction. Horse auctions vary greatly in terms of like what horses will go for, and usually there's like high-end auctions where horses will sell in the 5 figures, you know, and those horses are very well taken care of and very well trained. And then you have low-end auctions where horses will sell for pretty cheap and they're not usually taken care of. They may have problems, but you can find good deals within those auctions. Auctions are funny, especially like these low-end auctions I'm talking about, because they are actually the way to get horses out of the pipeline of slaughter. So you know how we talked about the kill buyer always wins? Either they're making money selling the horse for meat or they're making money selling the horse out of the kill pen. Well, if you want to give it to them, so to speak, one way you can do that is by purchasing a horse straight from auction. The reason for that is kill buyers will usually go to the horse auctions to purchase horses for cheap too. So if you're able to outbid a kill buyer and get that horse, you are keeping that horse from getting into that whole system. Auctions are a lot like the kill pen in the fact that a lot of times you're not gonna know what you're getting. With auctions, luckily, you do have time to kind of look over the horse. You can look them over physically, you can look at their feet and their teeth, you can see how they ride in the pen when they go out for the auction. But beyond that, you don't really get to connect with them or know them at all. So it is that risk of you're just bidding on what you initially see. So my miniature pony Yoshi came from the auction. Honestly, before he went out to the pen for bidding, I hadn't even really looked at him or considered him. So I did not know at all what I was getting when I bid on him. And he came with a lot of health problems that initially someone wouldn't have caught. It took us time to notice, oh, he's blind. Oh, there's something else going on with his health because he's not gaining weight even though he's on a ton of grass. And so there's those things like that where there can be more things underlying that you don't know of. And for that reason, it's important to maybe go to the auction with an experienced horse person who has been to auctions before and know what to look for. You also need to look for horses that could potentially be drugged, and when they go into the arena to get bid on, they appear to be very calm, but in reality, they're not. There are those steps you can take to kind of, in some ways, secure yourself, but like I said, you don't ever really know what you're getting. Now that we've talked about kind of the more extreme, a little bit unsettling ways to get cheap horses, there are some other ways. So another way that I've personally purchased a horse for cheap is through a seller. So a seller is someone who their job is to buy and sell horses. So they're constantly getting new horses and selling horses and getting horses and selling horses. Their whole goal is to make a profit, so they're trying to move horses quickly and find a buyer and get them sent off. I purchased my horse Pepper through a seller. There's nothing really wrong with sellers. I mean, they will advertise the horse and they'll advertise what they know about the horse. I think a lot of sellers think it's best not to know everything, so they usually won't do a vet check and they usually won't look into health problems and things like that, because if they don't know, they don't have to advertise they know. That is one thing to keep in mind. But they usually, I guess because they're moving so many horses, they will tend to be cheaper. So you can look at those places, and usually the seller will let you come to their barn and you can look at the horse and you can ride the horse and check it out and just get it to know it a little bit more on that front, which is nice and which I think you should do. There's a contract involved probably where, you know, the seller just has you sign that you're purchasing this horse. After so many days, they won't take the horse back, that they're not liable if anything happens, and things like that. If you are purchasing from a seller or you're going to a seller and this is your first time purchasing a horse, I highly recommend taking an experienced horse person with you. Have the seller ride the horse first. Because if that horse is crazy, the seller is not gonna wanna get on it, and then you know, okay, I don't need to get this horse. But if the seller will get on it and then your experienced horse person friend will get on it, then you'll know, okay, this may be able to work out. So that's another area that you could go in and get horses for a lot cheaper than the average price of a horse right now. A lot of times when it comes to finding cheap horses, you just need to know where to look, and you have to be really diligent about looking. I go on Facebook and I join every single equestrian local group there is. Those people will be posting horses for sale and things like that in the group all the time, and I'm able to see like every horse that gets posted. And although most of the time these horses are the average price of a horse and they can be more expensive, a lot of times you can find good deals that way. Sometimes people just need to get rid of a horse fast, and so they'll post it and it'll be reasonably priced and you can go take a look. A lot of times, while I'm not saying everyone on Facebook is honest, I do find that this way there's a lot more honesty with knowing about a horse and knowing their past and knowing their skill level or their bad habits. Like, people are really good, I feel like, about posting, okay, here's some bad habits this horse may have, here's where this horse is at. Will you find your horse on day one? Probably not. But if you're really diligent about looking through those, something will probably pop up that you want to jump on, literally. And as always, I will always remind people that purchasing the horse is just the first step of your financial commitment to your horse, because horses will cost you a lot more on a monthly basis than they will that initial cost. So over time, you're gonna spend way more money on your horse than what you initially bought them for. That being said, I do have an online course where I just break down all your monthly expenses that you'll probably have, all your yearly expenses, and then every aspect of horse care you need to be aware of before purchasing a horse. Be sure to check that out. It's at shop.equinehelper.com. Link is in the description, and it's the Horse Care Keys for Success course. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more weekly horse videos.